Today we're making chicken wraps from somewhere that you might see on your local corner, and we're going to be using a whole load of different spices, and for the keen observer you'll notice that there is 11 of them. For this we're going to need 2 large chicken breasts. I've cut these into strips. You can just slice these on a slight angle or straight on. Just make sure you trim off any excess fat. As for the fillings, we're going to need 2 large tomatoes. I've just sliced these in half and then diced them into large pieces. You can dice them even smaller if you want, or leave them sliced, it's completely up to you. And lastly, we're going to need some lettuce, any lettuce of your choice. I've used some romaine or baby romaine for this, and just make sure you give it a wash to wash off any of that dirt. As for the rest of the ingredients, we're going to need some tortillas. I'm using flour tortillas for this one. Need some mayo, some pepper, a little bit of buttermilk for the marinade, and again, those 11 herbs and spices. Let's get straight into it.
Now for our 11 herbs and spices, don't worry if you forget what I'm about to say because everything's listed in the description, but we're going to add 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of celery salt, 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, 2 tablespoons of paprika, 1 tablespoon of ground black pepper and 1 tablespoon of ground white pepper, 1 tablespoon of mustard powder, 1 tablespoon of ginger powder, 1 tablespoon of dried oregano, half a tablespoon of dried basil and half a tablespoon of dried thyme. If you remember all of that, then fair play to you, and all we need to do is whisk this together. Now to calm it down a little bit, we're going to add our 2 sliced chicken breasts into a mixing bowl, follow that up with 1.5 cups of buttermilk, then we're going to add in 3 tablespoons of our 11 herbs and spices mix, get a glove on or use a spoon or some tongs, and mix this all together and allow that chicken to marinate from anywhere between 30 minutes up to 48 hours stored in the fridge and wrapped tightly. You can also use it straight away if you wanted to, but the chicken won't have as much flavour and won't be as tender. In a bowl, add in 1 cup of plain all-purpose flour, add in all of the remaining 11 herbs and spices, and use a whisk to mix this all together until everything's combined. Make sure there's no hidden lumps anywhere, and we can pop this aside for the time being. In a separate bowl, add in half a cup of your favourite plain mayonnaise, follow that up with 1 tablespoon of ground black pepper. I know it seems a lot, but trust me on this, and also 30 cracks of black pepper. Mix this all together really well until those flavours have become friends, and what we have just created is a delicious pepper mayo, and this can be stored in the fridge until we're ready to serve. Now when you're ready to cook, we can then transfer our chicken from the batter into our flour. Just make sure you shake off any excess and coat that chicken really well in the flavoured flour. Carefully place it into a pot of heated oil that's at 170 degrees Celsius or 340 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to fry this in the hot oil for about 4 to 5 minutes until the crumb is golden and that chicken is juicy and soft in the centre. And I do recommend doing this in batches so we don't cool the oil down too much by adding too much in. When you're ready to put these together, spread a generous amount of that pepper mayo over the flour tortilla, or whichever tortilla you decided to use, and I've also put these in the microwave for about 20 seconds to loosen them up and make them easier to work with. Next to go over is the lettuce that's been washed, and you can do this in any order of your choice. Place over the tomatoes, season them up with a little bit of sea salt flakes, don't go too hard because the chicken does have a fair amount of seasoning in it. Then place that chicken over the top. Depending on how big they are, you could probably get 3 in there. Then we can start rolling this up, and I like to do it how the local takeaways do it, so you're just rolling it over and then folding one side in, leaving the other half exposed, but you can close these up like a burrito if you wanted to. I am also leaving the flour tortilla fresh. You're more than welcome to toast them if you want that extra crunch. And together we have created these pepper mayo chicken wraps that are perfect for any occasion.
So just like that, we're left with these beautiful chicken wraps. They're easy to make, they're quick. Depending on how much time you marinate them, you can do it for a minimum of 30 minutes up to 24 hours, but it's up to you what you want to do. There is only one thing left to do, and that is we can then dig in.